Hello, my name is Brandy with Calico Marketing and WealthyCRE.com, and today's topic is 7 marketing ideas for commercial real estate. Number 1, internet presence. I cannot stress this enough, and I can't believe I keep having to go over this subject again and again, but the world is turning digital. You need an online internet presence. Shrugging your shoulders and claiming that your clientele doesn't go on the internet is ridiculous. Okay, so if the majority of your clientele right now does not go on the internet, that's fine, but just remember that they're going to start retiring, and who are you going to replace them with? A website is a great key way to get on the internet and start bringing in some of those leads off of the internet to fill in some of those gaps as time goes on. Number 2, social media. I have to admit, I had my doubts about social media at first, especially in the commercial real estate industry. But when I started doing a single post every single day, I started noticing my followers going up from just like 10 to 20 to even 500 in some cases. And I think that is mostly because in commercial real estate, there's not a whole lot of people to follow. So if you get on the social media train now, it will definitely be worth it to you in the future. And it is totally worth the extra time and effort to spend on the social media. And I also have to tell you, a lot of times you don't have to do social media yourself. You can hire a contractor who will come in and do those graphics and set up your calendar for you. All you have to do is just give them like your mission, the services that you really want to highlight, maybe some case studies, just places on your website where they can pull information from. And a social media manager can do all of this stuff for you. And they can even do it, 3 months at a time, 6 months at a time, just so in like a batch, so that you can have all these things already done off your plate, and it's just going to run automatically for you. So social media is a great thing to go ahead and start trying if you haven't already. So number 3, content creation. So blogs are a great way to just get some information out there, and they're also a great way to get some of those SEO rankings, to try to get some of those keywords to hit the first page of Google. They also do really well with long keyword strings. So for instance, if you had an article on like 7 tips to leasing an industrial warehouse, you would get somebody looking for, tips about leasing an industrial warehouse. Some of the keywords that aren't really really focused on in some of the big guys, you can get those by doing some of those blog articles where you're hitting some of those subjects. So, and also a really great thing about content creation is that you can repurpose the content for all kinds of things. So you can take those, you can do your newsletters with them, you can take those articles, whether they're weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, and then use them in your social media. You can use them in all kinds of other places to really fill up some of that space. And then that leads me to number 4, newsletter. So you can take those blog articles. It's a great way to use them in your newsletter, just to keep everybody kind of up to date on some of the things that you're working on, or some tips and tricks to the industry. You can also fill up your newsletter if you didn't really want to do all that content creation, just with like commercial real estate news, money, economics, business letters, things like that. Anything really to keep people interested and engaged in your newsletter. And newsletters are just really great ways to just keep in touch with people that are not ready to buy yet, or that have already purchased from you, and you just want to keep in touch consistently, just to make sure that you're top of mind when they are ready to do that lease or that sale, or or to get a new property, just to make sure that you are top of mind. Number 5, SEO, which is search engine optimization. SEO is the art of making your website easy to read for search engine crawlers. And the result is, the easier your website is to read, and the more clear the content and the keywords and stuff, you're going to rank higher. So you're going to be on the first page instead of like number 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. So I'll tell you the truth, not many commercial real estate agents or brokers even scratch the surface of SEO. So if all you did is just some of the very basic SEO strategies, like just doing some of the meta tags, or even just like hiring somebody to kind of do a one-off scrub of your website, you are doing better than like 90% of other people in the marketplace. So definitely consider SEO if you do have a website. Even just a little bit of SEO goes a long way in commercial real estate because nobody does it. Number 6, follow-up. In today's world, most of your follow-up activities can be automated. You can set your website to automatically and immediately contact somebody who has filled out a contact form or received a market report or whatever it is off of your website. So they can immediately get a welcome thank you email. One of the better ways to do it also is to do a welcome sequence. So if somebody has gone onto your website or has filled out a form or something, they will get then a series of emails. And so the very first one is the thank you. Of course, the next day is another thing. You can fill this up with like your most popular blog articles. You can have some just basic tips and information that your clientele might find interesting. The whole point of the nurturing sequence, though, is to get people to know, like, and recognize you so that they will call you when they're ready and they've already made their decision that you're the right person for the job before they've even started doing the interview process or anything else. It's like the whole point is to get them to have warm, fuzzy feelings about you through the sales tunnel so that they remember you when it's time for them to actually purchase or lease something. And with the follow-up, definitely add in your newsletters into it, because even if they're in the search like right now, something might happen and then it might be pushed back for another couple of months or whatever. But if you have a newsletter constantly hitting every week or every bi-weekly or every month, at least you can stay in touch so that when they are finally ready, they remember you and they're ready to go ahead and buy. Number 7, mailers. So mailers can be either extremely beneficial or extremely wasteful. And in order to lower the waste of mailers, you have to get extremely targeted. So Reonomy lets you get very targeted with like your leads list. So if you're going to pull a list off of Reonomy, for instance, you could get very specific, like multifamily owners in this particular zip code that have 6 units or less, something like that. And you can really make it thin. You can just pull like 100 leads off of there, and then from there you can just do like a sales letter and mail it out. So why do I suggest you only do like 100? It's because just even 5 or 6 years ago, like a postcard, like to print and mail was like 30 cents. Like it was super cheap. Remember those days? I do. But nowadays, postage and printing has gone up so much because, most of them have closed down. And then, there's just lower competition in the market. It's become even more expensive for them to do printing and mailing. Mailing is so much more expensive than it used to be. And that same postcard that used to cost you 30 cents is now about $1 or $1.50 now. So you can't really do like a huge mailer anymore, just kind of blindly and just be like, oh, okay, half of a percent is fine and I'll get my money back. You have to be much more targeted with it because if you do a 3,000 mailer, you're spending probably $3,000, and if you get 0 leads or 0 sales off of it, it can be financially devastating. So mailers, you really want to back off, get extraordinarily targeted, and just do them in very small batches until you get to the point where you have your message so honed in and so tested and perfect. Then you could do like a larger mailer, but I would really suggest just doing some of the smaller ones and just hitting them as time goes on. So like you could do 1 zip code this month and then another zip code another month, just to test your messaging, test your sales letter, and just to make sure that you aren't wasting any money on those. So thank you very much for listening to my 7 marketing ideas for commercial real estate. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to hear more, hit subscribe. And thank you very much for joining me. If you'd like to hear more about marketing your commercial real estate website and your commercial real estate business, go ahead and go to wealthycre.com and learn more about my online classes where I teach you how to automate your lead generation and how to do marketing effectively for commercial real estate. All right, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.